All right, welcome everyone to the December 13th, 2024 meeting of the Cable Television Advisory Board. We'll begin with a roll call. Steve Buxton is not here. Lauren Byers, also not here. Roni Camille.
Here.
Andrew Sonoda is here. Tim Cummins, I think he's coming later. Patrick Hannon.
Here.
Alderman Jetty.
Here.
Jennifer McCormick.
Here.
Nick Miservich.
Here.
Cole Morgan sends his regrets. Gregory Rodriguez. And Emily Vassar.
Here.
All right, we have a quorum. So there are people here who could qualify as members of the public, but I think they're going to be speaking later. So we'll move on to acceptance of minutes of the previous meetings. We have minutes from both the September and the November meetings, the November being the special meeting that we called. Is there a motion with regard to the minutes?
Motion.
There's a motion to accept and place on file.
Mr. Chair, motion to accept the meeting minutes of September 13th, 2024 and November 21st, 2024 to place on file as written.
All right, thank you. Any discussion of the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
The motion passes. Communications. We've all received copies of these by email. There were two advisories from Comcast with regard to rate changes.
Programming.
And programming changes. Is there any discussion of the communications? If not, is there a motion?
Motion to accept and place on file.
There's a motion to accept and place on file. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. All right, Mr. Painter.
All right. Our current balance of operating account 2505 is $29,590, and our expenses for November 2024, including salaries and facility operations, total $28,737. Excuse me. We had 5,333 cablecasts between September 2024 to November 2024. Of this, 158 were live events, and that broke down to Public 96 is 35, Education 99, 56, and Government 16, 39. Our HD channel also had 28. We had 5,175 playbacks, and that, excuse me, that broke down to Public 2,365, Education 894, and Government 1,091. We have a franchise fee split update, and we did not make it on the agenda for this last Tuesday's, the 10th, but we will be on the December 26th agenda for the legislation will be written up for the first reading of asking for the 50-50 split in the franchise fee.
And it was confirmed that we do require legislation?
As far as I know, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, and I'll pass it over to Pete.
All right, let me find it here. So, back. Still been pretty busy over at the Education Channel. A lot going on during the fall months here. So, on the 6th of September, we recorded National Public Health Matters in studio. Also that night, we had live coverage of Bedford at Nashua North football. On the 7th, we did live coverage of South at Bishop Girton football. We turn over the page. We had recorded another Public Health Matters on the 13th. Also that evening then, we did the Exeter at Nashua North football game. 14th was the Nashua Multicultural Festival at the library, I think also sponsored by the Nashua Public Health. 20th, we recorded an Eye on Education with guest Dr. Mario Andrade. The 20th, also, we did a Second Eye in Education program that day with Lisa Gingras, who's the athletic director for the school district, talking about the upcoming Hall of Fame that they have going on in the spring. So on the 21st, we were at Bedford at Bishop Girton football, live coverage of Battle of the Bridge field hockey. No, that's wrong. Gotta be wrong. No, I guess we did Battle of the Bridge, sorry. Yep, all fall sports. Field hockey, girls soccer, boys soccer, and volleyball for Battle of the Bridge, as well as the football game on the 27th. In October, we recorded the Traveling Tooth Fairy kickoff at Ledge Street School, recorded Bishop Girton at Nashua North football at North High School. That was an interesting game right after they had announced the closure of Stello Stadium, and I was already off on a trip that day, so I wasn't in town, but the crew managed to cover that game. It wasn't able to be done live at the North football field, but they got it done and edited and played back the following day on the channels. Did another Public Health Matters in studio on the 18th, 21st, Londonderry at North Unified Soccer from North High School. Live coverage on the 22nd of Pelham at Bishop Girton Field Hockey, which was held at Riviere. It was one of the NHIAA playoff games. 25th, we did live coverage of Merrimack at North Football at Sauhegan High School. On the 29th, we did North-South Playoff Girls Soccer. That was held at Sauhegan High School. And on the 31st, we covered the Londonderry at North Unified Soccer. They made it into the playoffs, so we covered their game as well. Moving into November, live coverage of North at Bishop Girton Girls Soccer at Riviere. Coverage of Goffstown at Nashua South football from Sauhegan High School. Then we did Bishop Girton at South football from Sauhegan High School, and most of those were all state playoff games. And we recorded the Nashua Veterans Day Parade. I have another page, it's on the back. That's it? I guess that's it? Okay. Part of that, we went to the Alliance for Community Media Conference this past week, and you guys generously allowed us to go, even with the financial issues we're facing at the moment. But we did want to let you know that we received Dan, you can be there, hold those up, a second place for Vermont at Nashua FCBL baseball from the 4th of July. And that one was the
Dan Young, Nashua Community Media. We also received a second place award for our work with Nashua Fire Rescue for the piece that we showed, I believe, earlier this year in this room for Nashua Fire Rescue training.
And we came home with a first place award for sports programming for our 2023 NHIAA District 1 Girls Basketball Championship game that we recorded over at UNH. So we did come home with some hardware, and we'll pass that around. So
Terrific, thank you. Mr. Bardis and Mr. Russell, would you like to present?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Bob Bardis on behalf of BRB TV. Good morning, everyone. As you heard from Mr. Honertz, we've had a number of shows and programs that continue to remain consistent with the numbers that we provide each quarter. We had 35 live events, and including in those events were the Veterans Day Parade, gubernatorial debates, the United Way Care Oki Show at the Arts Center, the 29th Annual Holiday Stroll, Wags and Whiskers Ceremony, the 9/11 Ceremony, Cultural Fest at the Library, and we had over 30 candidates, all who were running for state offices, including all the gubernatorial candidates and the state senator, the federal representatives from New Hampshire going to Washington. Those candidates were all interviewed live, and those shows were on National Public Television. We continue to operate and monitor 7 cameras throughout the city on a 24/7 basis that include cameras showing the Nashua Arts Center, the Senior Center River Cam, Chamber of Commerce Bridge, the Nashua Library Dam, the Mines Falls Pine Street entrance, West Hollis Street, Main Street, and all the cameras are viewable on NPTV6.tv and on WSMN.live. We continue to utilize the radio station to promote the free services that are available for Nashua residents and business owners to utilize Nashua Public Television. We have continued to go through the training with Telview and some of the server upgrade that occurred in August. And that, as Mr. Johnson has said, we've attended the New Hampshire CCM, the Coalition for Community Media, those statewide organizations that hold quarterly meetings for kind of a lunch and learn event and different trainings, holiday parties, and the annual meeting. So we continue to participate in those. All of the shows that we record at the studio are also uploaded timely to Roku and Apple TV. And again, anything that is not viewed by someone who has a cable box still at Comcast Channel 6 can view all of the shows that we produce through the website at nptv6.tv. And I think this board knows, but for anyone listening or watching the replay, BRB TV has formally requested an extension of their contract, which is set to expire in June of 2025. Pursuant to our contract, we have an option to request a 2-year extension of that contract. And Mr. Russell and I have formally made that request to come in with the number consistent with the first year that we've operated the station.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any questions, comments from members of the board? Mr. Cummins.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I think it would be appropriate for us to set some sort of public engagement relative to the extension of the contract. I would suggest that we do some sort of public hearing or town hall in the evening time frame, maybe just after the first of the year, to solicit the community's input on extending the contract so we can get some guidance from the public and then continue on through the process to evaluate the contract extension.
I think that makes a lot of sense, and actually that would also give us an opportunity to have elections for this board's officers. We'll coordinate on a time and date for a special meeting that would be in the evening so that members of the public who would be working during the day could attend. Mr. Painter?
Jeff Painter, I'm just going to say, I'll send out an email asking everybody's schedule so we can come up with a specific date.
Very good.
And it would have to be when the third floor auditorium is available.
Yeah.
Any other comments with regard to any of the reports? All right, the only old business item on our agenda is with regard to the funding. And Mr. Painter gave us a brief update. Mr. Cummins, do you have anything to add?
Just that, if it wasn't touched upon earlier, that I did confirm with the comptroller and the legal department that yes, we would need a supplemental appropriation, despite how any previous documents may have read, and that we would, in that supplemental appropriation based on prior work, it would be something like $96,000 to $100,000, and we would then be able to we will be seeking to file that legislation. It's being drafted now for the next Board of Aldermen meeting.
All right, thank you. Alderman Jettie?
So, so if I understood Mr. Painter, he said that we have $29,590 left in our operating, and November is 28,737, so that leaves us with $863. Are we going to be able to pay our people
Yes,
through December?
yes.
Do we know when we're expecting the next quarterly?
November, December,
I didn't bring it here, so, but we got it November, so would be February?
February, yeah, that'd be it. Well, I know, it's pretty, Jeff Painter, it's pretty close on that. But as far as it's my understanding, as far as the budget that we're under right now, everything will be covered, but we do have to recover, you know, with this whole, going to the Board of Aldermen and asking for supplemental funds.
Okay.
Maybe I could answer one other thing for Alderman Jettie, Pete Johnson here. One of the things that is in that number you read earlier, I think it was like $32,000, correct? That includes anything that's encumbered, so there are still 2 payments coming for the public access, and so that money has already been taken out of that number of what we have in the bank technically, so, in the fund.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments?
Chairman?
Mr.
Mr.
Camille.
Camille, is it possible, when we meet, we get the revenue funds, expense, revenue detail? Is it also possible to get from the financial department the municipal corporation receives a kind of it's not an invoice, but like a receipt of, from Comcast, the breakdown, when they send the check, the quarterly check? I'd like to see that as attached, if that's possible.
Mr.
Jeff
Painter?
Painter, I don't know, I can find it, but I'll find out.
Usually the finance department receives that. It's a revenue category, and it shows all the breakdown, and then it gives the amount, the percentage, and then the amount.
Okay.
That's usually industry standard.
Okay. Mr.
Also, I
Painter?
just wanted to say, I'll be sending out an email also for the subcommittee members, trying to come up with a good day, you know, for that to meet again, because that'll have to do with the July 1st of next year. So I'll be sending that out this week.
Very good. All right. Is there any new business? If
Mr. Chairman?
Alderman Jettie.
Yeah, so I just wanted to acknowledge that the mayor and board of aldermen have reappointed Attorney Sonata to the board, so
Thank you.
for another term. I don't know how long your terms last, but
Another 10-year term.
Hopefully not. It's a 3-year term, I believe.
and there's no term limit, right? You're,
Not that I'm aware of. It might be good to impose one, but
I don't think anyone wants to do that, but maybe you, I don't know.
yeah, I might be lobbying for that. But thank you anyway. Any remarks by other members of the board? If not, is there a final motion?
I move to adjourn.
The motion to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you, everybody.